Oh, yes, it is a happy day. Good Gospel Sunday to you, and you're in tune to Town Talk, the radio edition, and I'm your host, Rose Highland-Sharpe. This very inspirational program is brought to you by Highland Communications for a one-woman act, a storyteller or music call 295-0013. And by the Wills to Work program, help someone to be self-sufficient to go to work by giving your tax-deductible donation of a car or cash by calling 944-7149. Give cars that work to people that work. Oh, I'm excited today because my guest today is what I consider him as a homeboy originally from the Eastwood community. And of course, he's now living in the great state of Virginia. And of course, he's from the famous Goins family of Eastwood, Lamont T. Goins. Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Sharpe.
How are you, my dear?
Oh, it's just blessed and honored to spend some time with you this morning. And again, thank you so much for this opportunity to share with the citizens of Moore County and surrounding areas.
You are so welcome to Lamont. And just in case some people who have forgotten, because you're affiliated with several families from the Eastwood community, can you give everybody a little bit about your history?
Yes, ma'am. I am actually... my mother is Edna Goins, who was born and raised in the Eastwood community and related to the Jacksons and the Sweeney family. And also my father was Thomas Goins from Southern Pines. Chester, Allen, Cecil, and Louise was his brother and sister. So definitely have ties to the Eastwood community as well as the Southern Pines area.
That is so awesome. Amen. And you are a 1984 grad of Pinecrest High School here in Southern Pines and a 1988 graduate of what we formerly call a Pembroke State University, now the University of North Carolina, Pembroke. How about that? What did you major in, by the way?
I was majored in criminal justice.
Oh, my goodness. How about that?
And as you said, I still refer to it as Pembroke State University, even though the name changes to UNC Pembroke.
That's all right. That's all right. But nevertheless, and you have worked in education, and tell us some of the other fields you worked in.
Yes, ma'am. The education field, I had the opportunity to work and teach at Union Pines High School as well as Richmond Community College as the Job Training Partnership Act Coordinator and also the Special Populations Coordinator, and currently working in logistics with the Home Depot based in Winchester, Virginia currently.
All right. And you are married and you have 2 children.
That is correct. Married to the former Karen Barber of Carthage, North Carolina. We have a daughter, Ashley, 26, who lives in Norfolk, Virginia. It's stationed. She's in the Air Force, and my son Thomas is 15, and he is a sophomore at Wilson Memorial High School here in Virginia.
How about that? You kind of spaced that out just about right.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Amen. But I know you're so proud of your children and your wife. Is your wife an educator?
Yes, ma'am. She is actually in her new role. She's working in the city school system. She's administrative assistant at Berkeley Glen Elementary School. How
about that? Yes, indeed. Well, I believe folks are well reacquainted with you now. And let's move up to 2010 and what you've been doing since these last few years. Just recently, you are the CEO of Goins Consulting Group. And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. The vision, basically, of Reverend Sharpe from Goins Consulting Group, our vision is we want to really empower the leaders and managers through our tailor-made workshops and personal growth. Had the opportunity to be in Moore County 2 weeks ago, working exclusively with Kingdom Minded Ministries, and their pastor is Elder Bloom and his wife, Deborah Bloom, and they're located in Southern Pines. And basically, Elder Bloom had reached out and contacted us in reference to equipping and empowering his leaders. And what we've done with those workshops, coming in and really drilling down, if you would, really tailor-making the sessions on how to strengthen your organization, and that is basically from the leaders. We expect our leaders to perform in certain areas. And hats off to Elder Bloom and his staff for allowing us to come in and share our concepts, which have been very helpful here in our Virginia area, in our current church. And again, just equipping and empowering the leaders that they be able to perform at the acceptable level. And again, as you lead people, you have to make sure that your leaders are staying current and also continue to learn. And that is what we do through Goins Consulting Group, is again to equip and empowering our leaders to serve people, not just only in the church environment, as well as companies and any organization that reaches out to us. We're more than happy to service them.
Yes, indeed. All right, equipping the leader. So, we think about this leadership thing, because if you, what does it say? That you're no better than the leadership that you have, or the leader. If the head, this is, I think about Lamont, how the old people say, you want to kill a snake, why do they always cut off the head? And Mama said, go get that hoe, and chop the head off. And I said, well, now, but he still squirms and moves, but you notice that body is all in a disarray, all disorganized. Now, that head is still kind of moving, but once that head is gone, it's a mess.
That's correct.
It's dead.
And that's a great example, Reverend Sharpe. And that's the thing that we try to instill with when we're consulting with the pastors, is as a pastor and as the church leaders, your members and your visitors coming in, and from the very first experience, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
All right.
And the leadership role, you have to put your best foot forward every Sunday, no matter who's coming through your doors. A lot of times we may be looking for a certain person to come in with a certain demographic. A lot of times those people are sitting in your congregation Sunday after Sunday, week after week, and a lot of times we're not willing to basically take a step back and coach them, teach them, and train them and mentor them, and therefore have the ability to lead. Sometimes people think, and my philosophy is, some people are born leaders and some people are leaders through development. That's one of the things that we really try to strive on, is when a person comes to your church or any organization, they are there for a reason. They're there. They've been sent there. They've been mandated basically to be there. So you have to work with what you have. Look beyond that person. And again, a lot of times it's just stopping and making sure that person has the correct mindset, the correct skills in order for that development to take place.
Amen. All right. So with that said, now you do work not only with churches. What other organizations do you work with?
I work with Fellowship of Christian Athletes as well. Also, any civic organization that may call us in reference to displaced employees, because of course everyone knows that in our current state in the economy, there is a very, very high unemployment rate. Basically, what we did from that, because my own testimony was, I was working for TJX, which is Marshall's TJ Maxx. We had a realignment, and I found myself with a severance packet in my hand, and I was unemployed for 3 months. So basically, I had to really fall back on what I had been educating and training people on, and to go out and not have a job since I was 21 years old. It was a big difference. The world has changed. The technology has changed. You just don't walk in and turn in an application anymore. Everything is done via the Internet. So in that, really made us go back and really take a look at our training and begin, because it affected me personally. It affected my household. And in that, what we were able to do is go around and have employment strategies workshops. And basically what we do there is not only work with the person's skills, we'll take a look at their resume, we'll take a look at interview techniques, and then one of the things that I really encourage people when they come to our come to our workshops, is really taking a look at what we call a session from the other side of the table. We prepare so much for the interview, but what is the potential employer looking for from the very first time that they meet you? So again, from Employment Strategies Workshop, we incorporate all of that. How to prepare for an interview. What do you need to do in reference to preparing for an interview? And the last point I'll make on that is a lot of times we will interview for a job, apply for a job, and once we apply for the job, we'll put a contact number down. But yet everybody in the modern age has a cell phone, but we will fail to plug that number in our cell phones. So when that cell phone rings, we may be riding down a car, we may have the music on, we may be home in front of the television, kids. So when we answer that telephone, what is that potential employer hearing in the background versus taking that, taking 5 minutes, plugging that number in your phone. So if you're saying applying for a job at Moore Regional Hospital, as soon as that number comes across your cell phone, you're able to make sure that you're in the correct environment. So when you answer that phone, you answer that phone professionally and making sure that you're setting that first. And again, as I said earlier, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So
all right,
the strategies and techniques as we work with people through our workshops to give them a cutting edge advantage over a person that may be in the same situation that they're in.
Amen. And I happen to be a job link partner through my job at Sand Hills Community College as a recruiter for basic skills. And we sit down and talk about these things. So I spend, a portion of my month at the local Employment Security Commission and the Coalition Job Office, where people are coming in who are needy, who need a bill paid and food and clothing, but they also do a job search. And that's one thing with these cell phones. Some of the young people, and some of us are not so young, have these wonderful tunes or these sayings on our voicemail that are a little bit inappropriate.
That is so correct.
And you're looking for, or the song is so long, the person who would leave a message may get a little discouraged and not do it.
That is correct.
So you want to speak to some of the young people or some of the older people about that?
Sure. I mean, and that, again, that's another great call out, and that is part of our, as I refer to it, drilling down in our employment strategies workshop is how do you distinguish yourself from your competition?
Good.
And then that is because, as you said, is when that cell phone rings, what is the impression from the potential employee? Is it a greeting? Is it a voicemail that says hello? This is Rose Highland-Sharpe. Please leave me a detailed message. I'll return your call as soon as possible. Or are they picking it up? Are they hearing the latest tune from MTV? Are they hearing the latest tune from your favorite television show, which is very inappropriate? So therefore, they've already made up in their mind is, wow, we contacted this person that they look good on paper, but as I always tell people, your resume will not get you your job. Your resume will crack the door. Your resume may get you an interview, but it is the skills that are away from your job. And then somebody said, well, what does a skill have to do with your cell phone? They call that cell phone. They can learn a lot by your cell phone. When I'm in meetings, and I have a work phone. I have my personal phone. Both of them on vibrate because I'll tell anybody I don't like to hear a cell phone ring, whether it's a personal cell phone or whether it's a company issue phone. That's why they created the vibrate. And then once they call, what is the greeting? Is it a professional greeting? Is it a greeting that you're using when you're just, around the house? I mean, it is a way, and a lot of companies will look at that and say, you know what, that was very inappropriate. If this is what the candidate is offering, is it willing to pursue, or should we just break away right now and turn our attention elsewhere? So again, very great call out on your behalf, but we do address that in the workshop, is be able to say you have to allow yourself and realize that has a lot to do with it.
All right.
When they reach out and make that phone call, when they make that phone contact, you have to be professional at all times.
All right. I love that. And you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
That is correct.
That's a sermon in that somewhere. Amen.